Espada. Skip, you got 2 off days in the last 5. This is not acceptable. I don't know. You should be playing like 18 in a row. Oh, you got that coming up soon. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. You know what? We take those days off. We got 16 straight. So, those 2 days came out really good for our team.
Give us some overall impressions about having Kyle, penciling him back in the lineup. Not only just performance, but just the how you feeling the next day kind of conversations.
Yeah, so, always feels, wonderful riding him in the lineup. The type of player he is and the impact that he brings to our lineup and the excitement he brings to our clubhouse and to our fans. And so that part is great. And then now it's, monitoring his workload. Right now, we will know that he did not go into minor league rehab. So we're trying to build up his volume, doing it smart, doing it in a way where we can monitor, more body soreness than anything. But he feels good. The goal here is to, once we get over this series here in Oakland, maybe get him in the outfield here pretty soon in L.A.
Has that been something he's antsy for, or just said, hey, when the time is right, Skip, I'll come to you and say, let's try this thing?
No, he's ready. We're just trying to be smart as an organization. It's conversations with him on how he feels, with our training staff. We just got to make sure that his legs are built up for him to be, 9 innings in the outfield, and we know how good of a defender he is. So we want to make sure that he's good physically to be able to do that.
Joe Espada with us here on Sports Talk 790. A good series over the weekend against Arizona with 2 quality wins Friday and Saturday. Sunday was a little bit of a blemish. Let's get to JV a little bit. I know that he has said it's a work in progress, trying to get back to where he was before the injury and whatnot. But it had to be tough going to get him so early, like you have done the last couple of times. Beyond the velocity drop, if there is such a thing, and I don't know how much you read into that, tell me where you think the difference for me has been the swings and misses just aren't there that they were, say, even last year. What do you notice beyond that?
Well, you know what, the velocity was there on his last start. It's just more the for him to create more swing and misses. He has to pitch ahead more, and also he missed too much in the heart of the plate. He threw some pretty decent sliders. His changeup was okay. I just think he's not quite there yet. It's not physically. It's just more trying to execute and locate the pitches where he wants to. When you see swing and misses, or when you see off balance swings, and right now those at bats are not as uncomfortable as we've seen when JV is on, right? So we try to get them there. The next couple of days, we have some adjustments to make, and we notice a few things that we're going to try to address. So he's got a couple of more starts here in this 16-game stretch. So we need him to be the JV that we've seen in the past.
What are the specific things you're looking for from him? Because as you mentioned, there's not a lot of time left. You do want to have somebody who has his experience in the rotation in October, but you also don't want to hurt the team if he's struggling.
Yeah, and we're trying to get to October. We're not there yet, and we need him to give us some quality starts to get to October. So, his next two starts should be, looking at kind of the map here. Next one should be against LA, and then again, maybe LA or San Diego. We're trying to draw it up here, but we just need him to be, confidence that he can execute the pitches, hit the spots, being able to spin the ball whenever he wants to, not, just lean on the fastball when he's behind the count. He's got to be able to throw all his pitches in every count. So we have a little bit of work to do. There's no doubt about that. And but again, we need him here in the next 2 or 3 weeks to be able to get to October.
Joe Espada with us here on Sports Talk 790, and sticking with the starting pitching, Arrighetti on the mound tonight. Last time out didn't go the way he wanted. How much of that was some bad luck? Of course, now that you got the earned runs come off with the Pena error, but how much of that was stuff he needs to clean up and maybe a little bit of bad luck?
You know what? I just think it was a little bit of bad luck. I don't think it's something that we were worried at all. It was just one of those outings where they put barrel on the ball, and we didn't make a few plays behind them, and then things just kind of got out of hands. But I expect him to go out there and throw the ball well against the A's, and we need him. We need him to give us a good outing, take us deep in the game, and then hand the ball off to Brown and Valdez, who's been also phenomenal for us in the last few months.
Well, I don't know if they have an award, Skip, for comeback player of the year within a season, but if they did, Yusei Kikuchi would have it. The rapid turnaround from him wearing a Blue Jay uniform to what he's wearing now has been simply incredible. So now that you've had a few weeks with him and obviously all these starts, just tell us about where the relationship began with you and your pitching staff and your coaches to where it is right now.
Yeah, so let's start with Kikuchi. Yeah, he's confident. You watch someone from across the field, and you see that the toughness, and he's a good competitor, and he's always a tough start against us. Like, he was a tough pitcher for us to beat. So there's some stuff that we really liked about him, and now that we have it on your side, you get to know him. You get to see how he's prepared, how tough he is, and how he really enjoys winning, how bad he wants to win. Every time he's been out there, we have won every outing, and he has taken pride on that. And our starting pitching as a whole, like, we all knew from the very beginning that we are known for our starting rotation. Like, if we don't pitch, it's hard for us to win games and to be in games. So I think our starting rotation, took ownership on the value and the understanding on, okay, listen, we need to turn things around, and we need to give our offense an opportunity to win games and hand the ball off to our back end of the bullpen with a lead. And we have put all those blocks together, and it has paid off, and we need to continue to do that. We have a pretty long stretch here of games, and these guys recognize how important and how we all need to be, engaged and focused and finishing strong the month of September.
Back to Bregman, and I feel like we hate to do this injury stuff, but we're getting closely into the season. You obviously want to finish off the American League West Championship and start planning for the playoffs. Is it still very much a touch and go? How you feel on that particular day as to whether or not he takes the field?
Yeah, we're still there. We are trying to avoid him sitting for 2-3 days in a row. So this few off days have given us an opportunity just to plan like 2 days off one. He's feeling really good today. So, obviously he'll be in there today, and then we'll see how he is tomorrow. Hopefully we could get him the next few days in a row. But, him and Tuck are just pretty much how they feel, being smart the next 4 or 5 days, how many games in a row we could play them. So then we can, once we go on the road and when we go to San Diego, when we get back home and we had that series against Seattle and the Angels, like, we would like to have those guys in there, every day till the off day, Thursday on the 26th. Like that's the goal, trying to get these guys 3 or 4 games in a row. Hopefully we can expand our lead and allows me to give some of these guys some off days. So, the next few days, I got to be smart about, the usage of these guys. I got to be disciplined to give these guys some time off, get them off their legs. But, they know how important this next stretch of games is. So I expect them all to be ready to go.
Chas McCormick, 10 for his last 23. Has to put a smile on your face to see him producing and help you with another outfield option.
Yes, absolutely. We all knew that at some point, Chas will show up and be the player that we know he's capable of being, and he's been really good. We know how good his defense is, but just giving us, being good at bats in the bottom of our lineup and be able to turn the lineup around and have him on base for Jordan and Altuve and those guys. So, he's been hitting the ball hard. He's been hitting the ball the other way, which that's his strength. Anytime I see McCormick hitting balls to all fields and not, weak ground balls, off balance, quick outs, it's just competitive at bats. He's if we could get, him just to carry the low here for the month of September and carry into October, it adds another piece to the puzzle that we really need.
Last question, a little lighthearted. We used to have Mike D'Antoni, the Rockets coach, on, and when he would get ejected from a game with 2 technicals, his wife would see the check and say, "What did you do?" Has Mrs. Espada done that to you yet?
You know what? She has not. She always reminds me. Just remember, you have 2 kids. Have 2 daughters that are watching the game. So I try to keep that in mind. They can read my lips, and so I try to keep that in mind. Trying to be an example for my ladies. But there's sometimes you get I get emotional, and sometimes I disagree strongly with the call on the field, and I might have to come home and apologize to them. But they understand. It's the heat of the battle, and Daddy's trying to do the best he can.
Having to answer your daughters about that, huh? Let me tell you, as a father with a daughter myself, I'm in the same exact situation, Joe. So I totally
you gotta
empathize.
watch what you say,
Because I'm trying to keep her mouth without saying those dirty words, and if Dad doesn't, it's a really bad situation. Skip, thanks for the visit as always. We'll talk again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We'll see you. Joe Espada with us here on the show. Yeah. When he got Cincinnati got on the Bregman ball that hit his elbow and didn't, and
they called it a foul ball.
I don't think Joe liked that
ridiculous.
explanation at all.
I'd give him a free pass on that one.
Maybe we should
He's
just
go out there and cover his mouth when he's yelling at the
like
umpires.
how NFL coaches do that. They put it over their mouth like this.
Exactly. And they got what's his name, Dan Campbell, doing it on that Mappleme's commercial now.
Mappleme's with the riblets.